That may have actually been one of our more cooler intros. Thank you so much, Logo Animations, for making that. I really do like the one with the gears and the cogs and whatnot. But welcome to Top Rope Spoilers, our second of two nights for our double PLE weekend. I'm Steve with On the Ring Apron.
I'm Alyssa.
Y'all already know who I am. The girl that's about to talk some serious-ish.
I'd say after what Jaida Parker dropped last night and the things that were said in this house that we cannot repeat.
But we probably will try to.
Allow me to correct my statement. I'm not allowed to repeat them. They are. So,
I'll probably try.
But we won't because it's a children's show.
But again, I said I was going to make it PG.
I'm not sure. How do you PG that particular word? We are dangerous here on where we're starting.
Q will figure that ish out. Okay.
But either way, welcome to Top Rope Spoilers. There's our obligatory dryer going off as it always does in every episode. So it's like the little the smoke detector going off on the background of some of those TikToks. It's just ridiculous.
Hilarious.
But this is for NXT No Mercy. Anybody that watched yesterday obviously saw our video for Bash in Berlin. So if you haven't watched it, feel free to go back and watch. We'll wait here.
I'm just trying to figure out who am I going to put in the corner with the Temu Judgment Day and Alba and Isla.
Hashtag Temu Judgment Day is what ended up hitting the books the most for all of this. But you do see our scoreboard directly above me. It's obviously subject to the results of Bash in Berlin, but I do open the weekend with a 3-point lead. Alyssa and the OTRAs each have 30, and Kia's got 26.
Man, all I'm going to say is me and the OTRAs got a love relationship, man.
Y'all are always right there somewhere. Pure fusion, if you will. No? I tried. No one else has been able to make it work either. No. But we're going to go ahead and give it our best shot here. Of course, you'll be on the lookout if you get a chance to see it. Watch out for the official OTRA belt held by not one, but two future WWE Hall of Famers. I don't know why it's buzzing. I'm telling the truth. The Miz and Naomi are both going to be in the Hall of Fame at some point. One probably sooner than the other, but that's not the point. But either way, we're going to discuss it. But if you are in Denver this weekend, come take a look at us. Alyssa and I will be somewhere nearby. We don't bite. We'll be at the Rockies game before that.
I think he talks for himself.
So. Yeah, no, for real.
I might bite if the circumstances are correct.
You can't speak
I'm
for
not
us.
nice.
I'm pretty sure I'm legally obligated to say we don't bite.
Okay, well, I'm
Then at that
nice,
point, you're on your own, and I can act like I don't know you. Why are you wearing the same jersey? No, I'm not.
Shut up.
Shut up. But let's go ahead.
Steven, you know me.
Let's hop into our first of what ends up being 6 matches, 5 of them championship matches. But we're going to start with a match that got added to the card yesterday. Let me get the little timer started here. But it is what has become easily the most bitter rivalry and most personal set of encounters that we've got on NXT at the moment, as two former friends, former teammates, former tag team champions together with MSK and the Radicals will ultimately, or Rascals, excuse me, not Radicals. The Rascals will finally go head-to-head for the first time inside of a WWE ring, as we will see the final destruction of MSK as Wes Lee takes on his former friend, Zach Wentz. Now, we've obviously had an opportunity to be able to see both of these individuals in person. Kia, we actually were there on a night that they lost the tag team titles to Imperium a few years ago at Halloween Havoc. And then, of course, Wentz, shortly after they won the championship back, had all of his controversy go up. We don't discuss the circumstances behind that, but let's just say I think Wentz got a raw deal on the end of it by the time all the evidence came out. But at the end of the day, when we were sitting here on this very show discussing Wes Lee and what on earth are they going to do with them, he doubled down on himself and flourished and ended up becoming one of the greatest singles competitors. Ended up being one of the greatest singles competitors that NXT had to offer. NXT North American champion for almost a year. Of course, got put on the shelf due to a bad leg injury. Recently came back in April. But then when the members of the Rascals came back, we thought perhaps a reunion, perhaps a tag team run, but ultimately it led to Wes Lee turning heel and now deciding that, you know what, I'm better than y'all. I have grown further ahead than the two of you. If the two of you want to be behind me, that's fine, but you're going to be standing in my shadow. I refuse to stand next to you. So, ladies, I'll let you take it from here, but in terms of where things stand with Lee and Wentz. Where has this gone wrong, and is this just going to be where this has to end, or is this a situation where maybe this is salvageable at some point?
You want to say salvageable? The only way that's going to be salvageable is we go back in time and we rewind to where they were starting out as a tag team. That will be the only way this will be salvageable. After what Wes Lee did, and don't get me wrong, I love Wes Lee in person. He's a really sweet person. He loves his fans. I think we're like family to him. But he is literally throwing shot for shot for shot. And for anybody that knows, in a black household, Alyssa, you could back me up on this.
The faces are
when
just
you throw
on
shot
point
for
tonight.
shot for shot for shot in a black household, you have no, I'm not saying this, I'm not being funny, I'm being serious. And if you thought I was a joke, no, I'm not. So he's been
The
throwing.
correct answer there is thought.
Exactly.
You
Thought wrong.
You
No, for
thought
real.
wrong. It's
And
a good
so-
thing you don't get paid to
To
think.
think. Thank you. And so, and
Thank
you know,
God you're pretty.
and back on track. So you would think that'd be the only way that would work is if they go back in time and they'd make that work before our dude right here, his best friend, got the raw end of the stick. It is what it is. Now that he's back, honestly, with all respects, I think this is the best kept secret, in my opinion, of Wes Lee turning, because I did not see it coming. I saw, they're great, they're married, they're this, they're that. Now, main roster, we're kind of seeing the New Day where there might be a turn, but this right here, what?
Well, no, I'm listening.
I didn't see this coming, especially from Wes Lee, with as sweet as he is and as kind as he is. But you know, keep your head on the swivel. You can't trust everybody. Now on the flip side, oh boy, what's his name? Wentz. He's throwing some shots too. Okay, and it's like seeing what I saw last night. Y'all, that's how y'all knew y'all were best friends. You could throw shot for shot for shot for shot, and it don't bother you because you throw in the next shot. Pew pew.
I feel like this has all the making, though, of y'all like to say the Temu version, but let's maybe bring it back just a little bit. But maybe the dime store version of the Uso rivalry that we saw heading into Mania over the last couple of months. You know, these are two guys that, I mean, they've been tag team partners for as long as they've been wrestling. They've been best friends. But they're still buddies, of course, in real life. So you feel like this is a match that they always dreamed of having. So, you know, now they're going to get an opportunity, and at a live event nonetheless.
Yeah, man. All I know is they were both spitting facts, going back and forth. But the one thing that I have not been able to get out of my brain going into this match this weekend is Wes Lee sitting over there trying to say, "Oh, you weren't there for me. You left me. This, that, the third. I had to go through all that on my own. Blase, all that." And then Zach just came back and he said, "I couldn't be your tag team partner on TV, but I was your brother behind your back. I was your brother in the back." And Wes just totally said, "We just gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and dip around that because that man really is spit facts." I know y'all saw his face. He said,
And that's the one thing you very rarely see Wes Lee get beat on the mic. But
right.
he was like he looked a little overmatched last night. But I think also Wentz might have had the promo of his career. You know, and you've got to think this one's a long time that the two of them have been waiting. But y'all are sipping tea, not pouring tea.
Also, you cannot sit here and slap me in the face on public TV when I've had your back behind the scenes. How you gonna slap? Okay, you know
that's
what?
That's a buck wild.
You want to slap me in the face in public? Let's go ahead and get to this PLE where I'll slap you around this ring and hopefully give you some sense and you remember.
No, for real. And then him coming for him being TNA now. Woo, boy!
I'm a WWE superstar over a TNA wrestler.
Okay, first of all, what you didn't have to do is you didn't have to do your boy like that. You could have cut him at the knees anywhere else.
I'm talking about that, but that was his response to him saying, "I couldn't be your friend on TV. I couldn't do it." I was like, I just went ahead and flatlined y'all because I was done.
Well, all I'm going to say is it is extremely doubtful. In fact, I can all but guarantee that this will not be the last time we talk about somebody slapping somebody in this episode. But let's move to the picks here. I've got the lead heading into the weekend. You know, this is, again, I feel like a match that, you know, very similar to the Uso rivalry and other brothers that you've seen go head-to-head. You know, it has all the makings of, you know, a match that you know they've probably rehearsed in their backyard or in their living room, their respective living rooms, probably a million times over. But now they're going to get an opportunity to do it with the live audience, 15,000, 16,000 people in Denver. to see what they're going to end up doing. But ultimately, it needs to be Wes Lee going over here. He, is the one that needs to have the heel turn push, and it's got to mean something. If you have Zach Wentz come in from TNA and ultimately beat Wes, then it kind of defeats the entire purpose of this, because you've already seen Wes turn dark. You don't need him to go any further than that. So I feel like this is one where, Wentz will come close, but Wes is going to have just a little more experience in these singles matches, and I feel like that gives him the edge. So I've got Wes Lee.
I have to agree with what you said when it comes to him needing it for his push. It'll make the heel side more legit. It'll add that next layer of burn. It'll, keep the fuel going. But also, what the heck was I about to say? Because you literally took the words out of my mouth. I was like, shoot. But no, it'll start the legitimacy of his heel run. Like, we all know he can wrestle. Like, we all know he has the skill in the ring. Now he's just got to start getting and building, like, oh, if I'll do my brother dirty, best believe I'll do you dirty. So I feel like Wes Lee will go over in this match, and I don't think it's going to be pretty.
As much as I like Zach Wentz, I think his name is Wentz. Zach Wentz, as much as I like him, he's great. He's come back. I liked him before he left. I liked him when he got back. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Whoever that other dude is that came in with you, he can go ahead and go. He can go. Exit stage left. Exit stage left, like Beyonce said. My pick. No, for real. My pick is going to be Wes Lee because, again, I like a heel factor. But if you're going to play a good heel, you're going to have to get into the mindset. I need your theme to change. I need your clothing style to change. I need your hair to change. I need you to get into it. When I say throw down, I'm not saying Scrappy Doo.
His hair has kind of changed. Think about it.
Oh, I need it to change to where it's like, oh, he about to come out here and stand on some business.
Well, I'm saying, it used to be like down. It used to be flow free, and it used to be free spirited like he is. Mm-hmm. Now that thing's crocheted in.
No, for real, it is. I'm just saying, let's go ahead.
I'm back to business.
I'm gonna. As much as I like Wentz, I'm gonna pick Wes Lee to go over in this match. But again, Wes Lee, I know you need to hear me. I need you to get in with the. I need you to come up with it,
So this needs to be the start of the run. So
I'm gonna need you to
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, move on to match 2. Now that was the only non-title match that is currently scheduled to be on the card right now. So let's move into our first of what ends up being 5 championship matches on the card. We're going to start with the NXT Tag Team titles. This is a rematch of a few weeks ago, where ultimately the championship run of the former champions Nathan Frazer and Axiom came to an end at the hand of the now two-time champions, the Chase U. Ultimately, it was Ridge Holland, the newest member of Chase U, being able to get that inevitable pushover. He is able to, as he so-called claimed, used his last favor, used his last respectful request to anybody to get Chase U one more shot at Tag Team Gold, and ultimately they were able to overcome a team that, frankly, has beaten a lot of other teams that I think we've picked against Frazer and Axiom many times on the show, and they've gone on to prove us wrong. But Chase U trying to start a new level of legitimacy. We really thought this might be the start of potentially a split in Chase U, but if anything, it almost gives off the vibe that it's almost brought them together, because you see people like Riley Osborne and Duke Hudson, and of course Crazy Thea, sitting there, but it seems like Ridge has kind of said, look, this is what we were always capable of, this is what we can always do, and Ridge, of course, proud of his first championship in WWE or NXT, so he wants to definitely continue the run with Andre Chase and Chase U continuing to push things. Now, Chase U only held the title for 2 weeks when they won it the first time. We didn't even have time to put the plates on before they switched them up. They're on there now. But ultimately, you look at the former champs and you wonder where they're going after this if they don't win the titles back. So, Alyssa, we'll start with you. Where do you see this match leading?
Honestly, I feel like there are 2 sides to it. Chase U looks stronger. They look more like tag team cohesive. They seem more. This title run feels different than the first one. That first one felt like, huh?
It was definitely
What?
a surprise that they won it the first time.
Like, I was scratching my eyebrow a little bit, and then 2 weeks went by, they took them off. I was like, okay.
You're just
You
you were a carryover champion.
I don't mean that in a bad way. This one feels more like they finally come together. They brought in a new member. He's finally come in. He's helped them win a title. They're all accepting. They're all functioning as a team. This one feels different. This one feels right. On the other side, you have Nathan, Frazer, and Axiom. They admitted it when they were asking for their rematch. I almost said their refund, child. It's time. When they were talking about their rematch, they were like, "Hey, y'all were the better team that day. We give you that. But I don't know if y'all are the better team out here."
They also even laid claim to the fact that they were taking on other tasks as well, competing in the speed tournament and other things. So, maybe their focus wasn't where it needed to be.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a guaranteed fact, Frazer's focus wasn't where it needed to be because that man was all over the speed tournament. He was up the road, down the street. He was late for a couple of things, and Axiom had to put him on 100 or put him on blast and be like, yeah, if we're going to be a tag team, we're going to have to focus. You clearly see Chase U, again, as Alyssa said, they're cohesive, they're together, they're stronger. I like the fact that, and Andre Chase has been like teaching exclusivity. Is that correct?
Exclusivity.
That's what Alyssa said. Inclusivity. That's what he's been trying to teach all this time. And the fact that you had that separation for a little bit, like, I'm not sure about Rich Holland is at the third and all his baggage. Well, of course, everybody's got baggage somewhere. So, I mean, you bring that baggage and what you learn from other places, you bring it in and you put that into the group and you, like, hey, let's work together, let's get this done. Just because, we were separate, now we come together, it's, let's make this work. Y'all get on board. I'm going to be honest, I'm not trying to do a JC Jane. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to hurt you like she did, or sit here and come in and say one thing but do something totally different to benefit me. I want it to benefit us. And if I'm part of Chase U, it isn't us. You know what I mean? With Frazer and Axiom, I feel like it's just like they were split before they even had this championship. They were split a couple of matches back. I feel like it's about to where they're going to have to, like, cut ties. They're cool. They can be friends. It is what it is. They can dap each other up in the locker room when it's time for their match. But at this point, I don't really see them being a team anymore. And I don't see them as strong as they were when they first got started. So for me, it's going to be one way or the other. You either are all in or you're all out.
Yeah, and again, the future of the tag team division certainly sits on the line. This is Frazer and Axiom's one shot to try to win it back. So if ultimately they're not able to get it done here, they're unlikely to be seeing the tag team title picture again for a little bit. You've got a lot of hungry teams out there that are anxious for the opportunity. So we move to our selections. Alyssa, you're up first. Who walks out of Denver as NXT Tag Champs?
I'd like Chase U to retain.
Again,
they're functioning. They're functioning on a different level than I've seen them ever. So I feel like them coming together will absolutely play a role, and I think Axiom and Frazer will figure out what they need to do.
Mm-hmm. Built more for speed tournament, maybe go back to Heritage Cup, something like that. I mean, you got
stay as a team.
No quarter catch crew, needs new challengers if the family's just about done with them. So it is what it is. Kia?
They're all rolling as like one functioning, well-oiled machine. I'm picking Chase U. I feel like they can't lose, knock on wood. They're not going to lose, you know what I mean? And then especially when y'all are supportive to each other, as y'all are, go for it.
Y'all can't do it dirty twice.
Y'all really can, because y'all gonna have me over here thinking about, I got this shirt on, y'all gonna do them dirty for real.
And I feel like both of you, pretty much went with the same sentiment that I'm going with. It seems like Chase U is as unified as they've ever been. We've seen shades of it just about collapsing with the deal with Thea heading off to go be with JC, with Andre's gambling issue, with everything else. But ultimately, they have found a way to persevere in storyline around all of the issues and have managed to stay stronger and more unified than ever. It seems like they are... You both said it, clicking at another level right now, a level that Chase U has not seen before. I really think this is going to be the start of something to where it's going to build up whoever the next tag team's going to be, whomever it happens to be. She is determined to get us a copyright strike tonight. I've already had to appeal. I've already had to live appeal once in this episode. So It is what it is. It was something one of y'all sang. I just don't know because that's what it said on here. But either way, I'm going Chase U as well. So sing, but sing quietly, unless you know you've got permission. And they're going to toy with it. And see, and I'm the one who's got to clean up this mess.
No, because they can't hear what we saying. We could be over here talking mess.
You have no idea how good the mic is on that thing. They're silly. Anyway, next title match. One that again was added officially last night on NXT. It had been on the card really since the previous episode, but ultimately you end up, finally getting it officially on the card as the NXT Women's North American Championship will be on the line, as the first and current champion Kelani Jordan will have her toughest defense up to the stage as she takes on the nightmarish Wendy Choo. Now, Wendy Choo, of course, has gone through certainly a change in persona herself, as she has now gone from the Keeper of Dreams to the Keeper of Nightmares, and has been consistently putting her opponents and even people just sitting outside the ring to sleep on a regular basis. She also has wasted no time basically eyeballing both Kelani Jordan as well as, help me out here. Tatum Paxley, thank you. I could see the face, but I couldn't get the name. In saying like, look, I'm next. Very similar to Jaida talking to Roxanne. We'll get to them in a little bit. I'm next up. I deserve championship gold. And having been a person who's followed Wendy for a long, long time, from the beginning, and the fact that she still has not held any championship gold in what is now her 9th year with the company, you feel like this moment is due for Wendy, and this is easily the best persona she's put in. However, Kelani has also proven her worth in just the 1 year she's been with the company, but I think we saw some shades of her youth and her inexperience when she ended up having to go up against a former 5-time TNA champion in Rosemary on NXT yesterday. And even though Kelani was able to escape with the win, she still ended up ultimately getting put to sleep by Wendy Choo at the end of it all. So it seems like throughout this entire process, the inexperience of Kelani Jordan has come back to bite her. So ladies, I now turn it to you in terms of, is this just a matter where Kelani is just frankly overmatched?
When it comes to Kelani, and I'm going to take what I heard last night, even though I was cleaning the dishes, but you could still hear it from the kitchen. I didn't see her smile. I didn't see her perky. I didn't see her happy. I didn't see boom, boom, rah, rah. I didn't see none of that. She looked like she was shaking in her boots, but she looks like she was doing it mentally up here, because her face was, well, I mean, when you have what you have coming out in Rosemary, and I've done my research, that's not someone you want to mess with. That I'd be scared too. Shoot. I mean, I thought Wendy Choo, was bad with her new persona, but Rosemary goes a little bit more below the Wendy Choo. She even stated it when she came out, and because I'm a Christian, I am saved. I will not repeat what she said on TV, and we'll just go with that. But no.
Well, you wonder also at such a young age, if potentially very similar to that of a very early championship run with Roxanne Perez when she was only 20 and was able to beat Mandy Rose to win the NXT Women's title. You look at Kelani and you wonder, is it the pressures of being champion maybe starting to create cracks in the armor sooner than they would have had she just kind of steadily worked her way up? But, she's definitely not folded under the pressure, but it looks like the pressure might ultimately be crushing underneath or above her. So, you look at that in combination with someone who just is frighteningly scary and also is dangerous because she's one move away at any time from being able to end a match. So, Wendy seems like she's holding all the cards here. Alyssa, your thoughts on the matter, but it just seems like Kelani just seems like she's met her match and then some.
Child, all I know is if I saw somebody crawling at me like that, looking at me like that, turning their head at me like that, I'd be looking.
Okay.
I'll be looking at you out the side of my eye like this. I don't see it. If I act like I don't see it, if I don't see you, you don't see me.
They do. Delulu
is the Salulu. Okay.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, in all seriousness, though, I mean, this will be her biggest challenge. This is where we're gonna find out if this is okay. Kelani's about to be taking those next steps. Okay, we're ready to push her to the moon, or if it's time to give
Wendy.
Okay, I was about to say that. I don't know where I thought I was going, but it's not there.
Wendy's.
I swear to...
Big back. Oh, now I'm singing.
There you go.
And now I'm gonna do it.
But no, or maybe it's time to give Wendy her flowers. I mean, Kelani has had a solid run up to this point. She's had a few good defenses under her belt. She's proven what she needs to prove. Now it's time. We'll see.
And you said it yourself. She will forever be credited as the first, you know, and that's a historic moment. But you also have to set the tone of why this championship was created in the first place, and that is to give women another avenue to be able to demonstrate just how good they are. I've said it many times on the show that the NXT women's division, more specifically, is the most stacked division, and that's without Julia or Stephanie Vaquer or anybody else or anybody from TNA coming over to assist with any of that. This division is absolutely just stacked to capacity, so you need every opportunity you can, and you better take advantage of it when you have it, which is where I think Wendy, who has been waiting a long time to go for gold, is going to get her chance. But let's move to picks. Kia, you're up first on this one.
I'm going to have to, like you said, 9 years is a long time for someone to go without a title defense, a title reign, a title push, that magnitude. I feel like Wendy has done everything she's supposed to, and she took her injury, she came back from it, she came back different, and this, for her, I liked the Wendy Choo that we had before, but like the one that would be like, good night, sweet dreams, night night, but this right here, this is a whole new level of creepy and crazy, and what it is. And we like it. And I really do, because she was getting pushed around, bullied around, and she ain't taking no crap from nobody. I don't care what you say. With that being said, my pick, it's gonna be Wendy Choo.
It's a new champ.
I'm nothing against Kelani, she's great, but again, this title was created for women in NXT to get a chance, and I think Wendy deserves a chance.
Yeah. I have a similar mindset in terms of the fact that this is exactly why this championship was created, and the idea is it's doing exactly what you want it to do. It is showcasing the talents, and the one thing they've done with Kelani Jordan since she took over the title is she's taken on any and all challengers. She has been willing to face up anyone and everyone in terms of, this is who I am, and this is the type of champion that I want to be. That being said, though, Alyssa hit the nail that this is absolutely the toughest challenge, and you saw the look of stress and fear on her face. This is going to be a moment where if she is going to overcome the odds and take that next step to potentially being in the NXT women's title picture in the future, iron has to sharpen iron here. I don't know how she's going to pull it off, but I can't be the Kelani guy if I'm not going to pick her. So I am going to take Kelani Jordan to retain, but I really think we're going to see just how much Kelani has grown, because Wendy Choo is an absolute veteran, probably the most established person on the NXT roster right now, especially in the women's division. So you're not facing a slouch or someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Kelani is going to have her work cut out for her.
This one's a head and heart. I mean, one of the
Thanks for the follow, Jason.
One of the tougher ones to pick. Gut feeling, though, I'm going to have to take it. It's how I win championships. I think it's going to be Wendy. I'm sorry. I mean, Kelani has done what you needed her to do. She started the title. She added her flair to it. And she's done everything you needed her to do. At this stage, I'm not convinced she needs to be mid-card. She's learned. She's grown. Put her in the title picture. Put her in the big title picture. Go have her dethrone Roxanne behind. I don't care. Either way, all I know is I feel like Wendy has done her time. If you're not gonna put Wendy over here, put her over in the main women's title. But do something with her. But she's waited her time. I like Wendy to change.
Got it. Alrighty, well, that's our first one where we have a little bit of discrepancy between all of our picks. So let's see if that continues forward as we move into the second half here, as we try to keep this to around an hour here. But let's move to the men's side of the North American Championship picture, as we will see two of NXT's best and brightest go head-to-head here, as ultimately it will be Oba Femi, undefeated still on the NXT black and gold, if you will, brand. He will take on the former tag team champion and the former Heritage Cup champion in the Don, Tony D'Angelo. The D'Angelo family has consistently been interrupted by Oba Femi on multiple occasions in backstage segments, as well as in other situations in which the Don has, seen it as disrespectful. He doesn't want to view their, his semblance of the way he is to his family as in anything other than respectful. And the one thing we will say about D'Angelo is he does things the right way. He is not going to skirt around. He is not going to cheat. He had an opportunity to win the NXT Championship, a couple of live events ago, and didn't when he had an opportunity to cheat and win the championship, and ultimately ended up choosing to not do so. He's going to do it, but every accolade that he gets, he's going to earn.
I love that.
And it's a respectable Don there, because, in a time when, Dons are supposed to, be corrupt and everything else, D'Angelo refuses to be, and he refuses to allow his family to be either.
I mean, he does his murder shit and stuff like that.
Well, unconfirmed.
That ain't got nothing to do with me, though.
But that doesn't have anything to do with us.
I didn't see
nothing
in the streets. He is a champ in the ring.
Like I said, I didn't see
an
nothing.
Honorable man.
But, but as good as D'Angelo has been, Oba Femi has been in a class all his own. Oba Femi has absolutely stepped in here, and in one calendar year, still running undefeated despite having taken on virtually the entire men's roster by this stage. And no one has been able to stand up to the challenge that is Oba Femi. I feel like he's being fast-tracked to either the NXT Championship or to the main roster. I don't know which. But in the meantime, he now is in the conversation and the argument for the greatest NXT North American champion of all time. It's most people crediting Wes Lee, but I think that's in debate now, especially if you beat a multiple-time champion in D'Angelo. Ladies, I'll let you take it, but I mean, this has match of the night written on it. Really, it does.
I've met the family.
We have too. We were there.
Oh, yeah, I know y'all were there. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I can only talk for me. I love the family. They're great, but when you sit here and you're trying to do a promo, or you're trying to talk among yourselves, or you're trying to do something for the camera, or you're in the ring, and every time you look up, Oba's stepping in front of you, and he starts talking, and he starts taking over. Are you really going to stop him? No, I'm going to pull a Samoa Joe. You got that. You got
that, big dog.
Guess what? I'm going to turn this way, and I'm going to go in the other direction. You got this. But I'm not going to sit here. That was a bold move to go to my restaurant, the Don's restaurant, family business.
In his $3,000 suit and everything else, and was like,
hey, sit at a table like this.
Not just his restaurant, in his chair, in his private room.
I know.
The fact that y'all let him, we got more to discuss. How y'all gonna let him over there? You know you're supposed to hold my seat. What's wrong? Oh.
Have you seen the size of this man, though? We have. Oh. Whoa.
And now it made perfect sense for why he needed to have, we need to speak with you. That's why his people, I guess his lackeys or whatever you want to call them, said, we need you. It's an emergency. We know y'all got stuff to do, but we need you. The family can go do what they do, but we need you. Now it makes a lot more sense for why it was just so urgent for them to get his attention. And boy, when I tell you, I just feel like it's the whole LA Knight, like Logan Paul, LA Knight coming to his pool, getting in his pool, coming to his house, getting in his pool.
Message delivered, message received.
See, loud and clear. That's what that felt like.
I mean, honestly, it's like, this one is, Oba has been dominant. Oba has done everything. He's taken on everyone. He's done everything. That man is just as fast as you see him on TV. He's just as big as he looks on TV. Like,
Like, I was
You
stunned
see
at
him
just
coming?
how big
That lady
dude
was
is.
stunned.
No, for real.
That lady was stunned.
We had a woman in Vegas that was ready to risk
That
it
lady
for the
was ready
biscuit.
to do it for the biscuit.
He was
That
ready.
girl
This
was
woman,
ready.
this woman had to be in her mid-60s, and she saw Oba Femi and was like just licking lips and everything
Boy, she
else.
look
It was
like me
funny.
when I see Roman. Don't play. That's the best way to explain it. Don't. But yeah, child. Yeah,
Supposed to get in here.
yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Goodness gracious.
I'm sorry. I had to pull on Alyssa.
She couldn't stop herself. Either way, we'll move to picks here because we do have to. We're trying to keep it moving, try to keep it to an hour so we can eat dinner on time. You notice that's a common theme. I'm back up first on this one. I love Tony D. I love what he's brought to the table. And honestly, we're running out of people on the men's roster that we can legitimately say, oh, he's going to be the one that's going to dethrone Oba. It really gives off the vibe that Oba's going to end up losing the title without being pinned or submitted, when it's all said and done. That being said, though, the short list of people that can be able to beat Oba includes Tony D'Angelo. Because honestly, I thought Tony and the family would already be on the main roster by now. I thought for sure they were getting drafted. But ultimately, it didn't turn out that way. They're running a number of different stories, including getting in the Heritage Cup picture. I didn't picture that for Tony by any stretch of the definition. But right now, he's on too good of a run, and this is going to be another push match that's going to, once again, carry him up to that next level. I like Oba retaining.
I hate it, but I'm going to have to disagree.
Go with it.
I think Tony D's going to take it. I think Tony D is going to take it. I think that's going to start elevating the family to get back into the tag team pictures. Miss Rizzo's going to do her thing. And I think we're going to see the family hold all the gold in the next
Just
year.
think about it. It's very well possible. Rizzo could win the
gold, but
Rizzo could win the North American tag team titles for Luca and
I see them because they've been doing what they're supposed to do. They've been running their storylines. They've been doing what they're supposed to do, and I think Oba gets pushed to that bigger picture. We tired of seeing all ego. Next, I'm ready to see all ego.
I just don't.
I'm ready.
The only thing
I need to see him getting knocked the next.
The only thing I just don't want to. The only thing I worry about is that then they feed. They put the title on Joe and then they feed him to Oba.
That's tough. I'm sorry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Woo woo. But
more on that.
But baby.
But you're going Tony.
I'm going Tony.
I'm so with all respects. Alyssa, you took the words right out of my mouth. The sentiment's going to be the same. The family has done everything you wanted them to do, going up against OTM.
My bad.
OTM. They've gone up against quarter catch crew, if I have it correct. And they've just been handling their business in the streets and in the ring. So with all respects, I feel like Tony D is going to take this, and I don't think he's just going to take it. I think it's going to be.
I mean, you've been messing with me.
It's
time. But I'm gonna give you that link. You've been taking my camera time. That's fine.
But the thing is, exactly, you've been messing with me all this time, and I've been respectable, and I haven't been like any other Dom where I could have come and got you and this, that, the third. You've come to my restaurant. You're sitting in my seat. You're interrupting my promos, my conversations with the family. It's time. It is. What is it? It is time. And I don't think I'm doing it correct. I'm gonna stop. So
Fair
Tony
enough.
D, the Don.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I may have the lead, but I'm either going to be way ahead or, I'm going to drop it here. But the ladies are coming for those points on this one.
I mean, all I'm saying is we haven't seen a bunch of title changes on NXT lately.
That's true.
It's time. Clear house. Let's go.
All right, so let's move to the penultimate match on R1. And I know the ladies, especially our two lovely darker ladies of the house, have been just licking their chops to talk about this one, especially after the slap heard around the world yesterday. Let's move to the NXT Women's Championship match as the prodigy Roxanne Perez will once again defend her championship, this time in a match that was ultimately earned in a match that set up people who had never had a championship match before, ultimately won by Miss Parker, Jaida Parker to be more specific. And Jaida is a person that if you've ever had an opportunity to be able to see her wrestle, at the Performance Center or something, that woman talks major trash while she is wrestling her matches. Like, everybody else has something to say. But she is loud, proud, and, will absolutely tell you exactly what she thinks. She absolutely shares no qualms. She knows she's going to get punched for it. She doesn't care. The OTM is a lifestyle for her, not just a motto. So you look at their interview where all of a sudden Jaida was getting a chance to discuss her first match. Roxanne decided to come in and be disrespectful. Jaida let her get in what she needs to say and said, I'm going to slap the taste out of your mouth. And before Roxanne could even get out the words, I think you can. Nuh-uh, she was on the ground.
So
done. End of discussion.
Let's go ahead and segue, because y'all know there's no love lost for me and Roxanne, or the child prodigy, or the prodigy, because really she needs to put child in front of prodigy, because she acts like a child, she acts like a high school student, she acts like what she sees, and
fine line between arrogance and cockiness.
She's cocky all the way. Like, she is like, blow it up, I'm gonna show you, and great. That is great for what it is. That is great for what it is. But Jaida Parker has come in, has smiled, has been nice to you, has been kind to you, has done everything that she has had to do. She had the interview talking about her journey from soccer star, or being a soccer player, all the way up to how her journey through wrestling and NXT and this, that, and the third. And little Roxanne had the audacity to come in and sit here. She did with I think she tried to get in the mind of Jaida Parker, like she's done with everybody else previously, and say, hey, everybody's had the same story, this, that, the third. You're not going to be no different. I know how it ends. It's a disappointment. And and Jaida Parker smiled.
Jada's had people in her mind since youth.
She was graceful, classy. She made no. But she was also, for a black female, I'd be taking notes in my head. And Alyssa, please back me up when you sit here and you be like, all right, we're going to let them talk they trash. We're going to let them talk they ish. Let's take notes. Let's put that in the file cabinet, as Alyssa likes to say. And when my time is, I've got these receipts for the date and time. Alyssa literally has them. I have to go get Landon for mine. But that is what it is. She got smacked in the mouth. And I'm not talking about smacked in the mouth like at school. I'm talking about smacked in the mouth in a black household. Your parents gonna catch you, and you're gonna be on that floor, and you're gonna find your way up a week later.
I'm about to say, child, she ain't slapped the taste on her mouth. She slapped her ass on that chair.
She for real.
Her mouth is still on the floor.
Yeah. Are you good down there? Are you good?
Well, that's the one thing you can say about Jaida Parker, though, is she's willing to let people talk as much trash because she understands that she's going to bring it back just as much. But as long as respect is still there, she's fine with allowing you to run your mouth. But the moment all of a sudden you make it personal, at that point, it's, all right, either hush or I'll make you hush.
And the girl said, and I quote, Roxanne, I'm going to slap the taste out your mouth. I was like, oh, shit.
Before Roxanne could even finish the sentence to say, please do so.
I want to see you.
And then that girl said,
exactly.
Yeah, and I know who you are, and I'm coming. And you could get some too.
And again, that's of course the other mystery behind this match is going to be who is the mystery person that was standing off to the side. We don't know. There's been a lot of speculation that it's either Jalea or it's Stephanie Vacher. I've heard Cora Jade, who is on the brink of returning. So there's a number of people. It also could be a person coming down from the main roster. There's been talks of Naomi. There's been talks of that possibly being a heel turn for maybe like a Sol Ruka or maybe a return of Gigi Dolan. So there's been a number of names that I've heard, and I've got a feeling I think we're going to find out either towards the end of this match or at the conclusion of it exactly who that person was. But that being said, this is going to be, whether she wins the championship or not, this is going to be Jaida taking that next step. She now moves into title picture, and hey, let's just jump let's jump the North American completely. Let's move you right up into the title picture, which I think a lot of people thought was just destined for either Sol Ruka or for Petrovic. So it is what it is. But Jaida is gonna come out and is gonna put on a show against a person who, despite her youth, is going to be someone that will be a tough challenge for her. Alyssa, you're up first on this one. Who walks out women's champion?
This one again is a head and a heart. I have been pulling against Roxanne for so long.
She has.
I have, and I am waiting for somebody to come and knock that mouth off. And I finally saw it. But I fear that's all it's going to be. I hate to say it. I really do. I love Jaida, and girl, if you get it done, just know my big behind gonna be up there.
You'll be hashtag Jaida girl.
I ain't say all that, but he tried. I ain't say all that, but
Hey, gotta get famous somehow.
amen. But I think this is going to be the best match we've seen her in. You are going to look amazing. But they're using Roxanne to teach people. They're using Roxanne to bring her up. She's a stepping stone right now, and that's just what it is. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pick Roxanne. But just know, girl, if you knock her out, I'm gonna be up there hooting and hollering. Do not worry about it.
I would love to see it.
I would love to see a change, but I don't think it's gonna.
Okay, so Roxanne officially. Kia?
You already said it. I will say it to her. I will say it to the universe. I will say it to everybody else. I have no love lost for Roxanne. It's just like, I don't like you. I don't love you. And with all respects, I would prefer to see Cora Jade with that title. That's how as far as I'm going with it, you know. So after seeing what I saw last night and literally cackling with Alyssa about it, because, you know, it is what it is, you know.
I love something.
I am going to pick Jaida Parker to win. And y'all ain't going to be able to hear me, but y'all hear Alyssa. And if y'all hear Alyssa, y'all pretty much are hearing me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna come about that shirt every day. Y'all can go, whoa. Oh,
No, camera.
Take it back. Take it back.
I'm going to be sitting here doing.
Put it back on.
Girl, you might as well just go ahead and go. You know what? It is what it is. I'm sorry. Jaida Parker.
All right.
Please, girl.
You know, and my response is simply a combination of both of y'all's together. You know, I think this is going to be the match where Jaida, she said it herself, I am a former I'm not a soccer player who turned into a wrestler. I'm a wrestler who used to be a soccer player.
Mm-hmm.
She has made it clear that this is what I was destined to do, and she looks fantastic while she does it. You know, and the idea that she had to bring herself literally OTM out the mud, you know, has given her the opportunity to be able to get herself into the position she's in. She's, you know, you say cocky to Roxanne. Jaida would call it confidence, you know, by the exact same manner, because they both run their mouth equally as much. But the difference is, though, Jaida and Roxanne both truly feel, even though they each do it in their own respective ways, that they both are correct in their matters, and it's just going to come down to who is going to be better on that particular day. Jaida is going to be made to look like a complete gem in this match. But Alyssa hit the nail on the head that they're using this prodigy with Roxanne Perez to carry over and build up the next set. The only way I see Jaida winning it is if she is going to be a very temporary stepping stone champion, so that way whoever one of these, you know, 2, 3, 4 returning or debuting people can win the championship without having to set them up against Roxanne quite yet. I would love to see the upset. My heart is going to hope that Jaida Parker puts on a great show and maybe pulls the upset, but the betting man goes with Roxanne Perez here, so that's where I'm going.
Y'all got that?
Yeah, I want to see her get her ass beat.
Well, I think she's going to get her butt kicked, regardless of whether she wins the title.
I'm not talking about Jaida. I want to see her dominate.
Well, I mean, she definitely has the capability of doing so. And you also have to wonder, will she leave the OTM people in the back? You know, or will they potentially run some interference to maybe try here? So Roxanne better come with her head on a swivel.
I feel like, I just like how the camera panned away from Roxanne laying on the floor, stiff as a board, to like Jaida Parker talking to whoever she was talking to in the background. That was great. I love to see it, and I will put it on replay like that. What TikTok you showed me at the church? Yeah.
But either way, let's move to the main event and something that you know we've all been waiting to do on the show, so let's finally do it.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Wave your hands
gotta save it for Sunday.
Swear to God.
Oh, I believe in Joe Hendry.
Think about
Joe
it.
Hendry, the prestigious one.
It was a joke.
We absolutely, you knew it was coming. You knew we had to do it. And we've been waiting for Joe Hendry to find his way onto any of our premium live events up to this stage. But it moves us to the main event, which got a little added twist right at the end of NXT last night. But it is Joe Hendry, the prestigious one, if you will, coming over from TNA to earn himself a shot at the NXT Championship against the current champion, All Ego, Ethan Page. But now with an unexpected twist from Ava, as now we have added Trick Williams as the special guest referee in basically spite of Ethan Page, because he is apparently incapable of being able to respect the referees and respect the job that they have to do. So he brings in Trick Williams, who of course has teamed with Joe Hendry before, and they have been very successful in their runs up to this point. So everything about this lines up for Joe Hendry to complete the goal that he's had for over a decade since coming over from Scotland. But you look at Ethan Page, and it seems like his one motif in TNA and since coming over to NXT is he always seems to find a way to be in the right place at the right time and somehow be able to scurry away with the championship still over his arm. I don't think we're going to have much debate here that 99%, maybe even higher than that, is going to be behind Joe Hendry. It will be a hostile crowd for Ethan Page. Add in Trick Williams as the special referee. I just can't picture Trick counting 3 against Page here. So Kia's desperate to spit out something here, but hostile.
You might want to take it back to when John Cena had to go in and retain.
I didn't say equally hostile.
No, I'm just saying that we need Attitude Era back in the day where John Cena had to put his cap over his head and head down to face RVD. This is what we need in that match. That's the type of hostility we need, because this man be running his mouth like he owns the place. Like, you come in and...
Like, he ain't only been here like 8 weeks.
No, for real, thank you. Here's what we gonna do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put you in your place. Well, I'm not. Joe Hendry will put you in your place with the help of the ref. Well, not. Y'all know what I'm saying. But it's just, I'm not. Let's go ahead and just skip over. I don't like Ethan Page. He annoys me. He grinds my gears. If I have to sit here and say I like Lexus King better than Ethan Page, that should tell you all you need to know, because I don't even like Lexus King like that. No, for real, it is.
I can't stand Lexus.
No, for real. But okay, that's a whole nother topic for another day.
Ooh. For a split second.
But that was for a split second until we saw that face.
Then I saw my judgment, and my judgment came back to me.
Yeah.
My morals.
All I know is he grinds my gear. He grinds me so bad that I would be like, no, I'm gonna do you like Kendrick Lamar did Drake. No. You ain't not like us. You not like us. That's all I'm going to say. You are not like Joe Hendry. You are not like Trick Williams. You is just a whole brand of whatever we decide you want to be. Go sit down, please, Alyssa. Now that I'm done talking crap about this man.
This one has my stomach in a knot. Because everything screams Joe, but you know they're going to keep Ethan. You know they
somehow,
are just to piss us off.
Because, I mean, they have literally lined it up to where there is no way Ethan can walk out of this match with the title. Like, not only, you took away literally the person who was going to decide it. Like, Trick at any point can count 3 for Hendry just because he can.
Yeah.
And he's been given the authority by Ava to do it.
See, it's like, I wanted to go with that, and I was solid. You could not sell me anything that I did not. You couldn't sell me air. You couldn't sell me water. You couldn't sell a fish water or oxygen or whatever the heck you want to go with. But then I saw Pete. I saw Pete at the end.
You're not going to make it to Tuesday.
He said, you might not make it to Tuesday. Trick. So it's like, I feel like there is treachery afoot. I feel it in my side.
It's something where either Pete's going to get involved in the match, or either he's going to take out Trick before it happens.
Or Joe will be winning it. He's going to be counting that 3. Pete's going to mess with him. A real ref's going to come in. Boom.
Ethan retains.
Hell
And that's the one. And that's been the thing about this whole NXT TNA collaboration they've been doing. Is at what stage do you finally take that full-time TNA wrestler, not Ethan Page having just come over, but at what point do you put a TNA wrestler with an NXT championship? They've had an opportunity to be able to do it with Jordan Grace, and they chose not to make that decision on putting the title on Grace. They've had Tatum Paxley come over and attempt to try to win the Knockouts Championship off of Jordan Grace on TNA, unable to do so on the flip side of that either. But at some point in this collaboration, it's got to happen where there's going to be a person that is going to take care of that. But, at the end of the day, you're looking at... Give us just a second. Sorry, dinner wrapped up, so we're going to put an end to this, and the timer ran out anyway, so it works out perfectly. Of course, the one who's in the other room is up first on this one, but she's coming back over now. But Kia, you're going to be the one to start off our main event picks here. Who's leaving Denver as NXT champion?
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm not going to pull no punches. I think they're stretching their foot. I think it is going to be what it is. Also, I'm a little nervous because what happens if Trick pulls a swerve on everybody and turns on Joe Hendry as being the ref and not count it and let Ethan Page go over? That's where my mind's perceived. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's just that's a long shot for me. But with all respects, I'm pulling for Joe Hendry because I believe in this man. I believe he gonna get it done. Something just tells me.
So officially, you're taking Hendry.
Joe Hendry.
Yeah. And you hit. I think we capitalized on it quite well. There's treachery afoot. You're gonna add Pete Dunne's part into all of this and how that's gonna particularly play things. But I think if there was ever a time for the TNA NXT thing to capitalize, it's got to be on Joe Hendry because they've given him an opportunity at the TNA Championship a couple of times, and they haven't put him over. At some stage, though, you can only give him so many attempts at a championship. I feel like everything lines up, and even with Pete and Trick, still having their their bickerings and whatnot, I feel like this is the right time to pull it. I'm going to believe as well. I'm going with Joe Hendry to win it.
I've gone head on all my other head and hearts, so I'm going to take a hard pick. I'm going to go Joe. He better win that jump, though. I'm not playing with y'all.
I'll tell you one thing. You want to watch everybody walk out the door pissed. Have Joe Hendry lose.
Y'all gonna be there, aren't y'all?
Yes, we are.
I'm gonna be at home watching, and I'm gonna be able to see Alyssa in the crowd a mile away. She's got the good light skin, beautiful hair on top of her head, the pink glasses. Yeah, that's how I spotted you last time, girl.
I'm wearing the black ones.
But either way, that wraps up our top rope spoilers. You heard the beep go off. It's time for dinner, so ladies,
it's din time.
I'm hungry.
Let's take it home.
I've snacked on everything I could. Now it's time for me to eat.
We've been rolling in these houses, and we still got a long schedule to go.
No, for real.
So if you don't hear from us, it's been real. But yeah, money come first.
Jingle,
We'll see you in Denver, but y'all take it easy, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye. Peace out.
Say his name and he appears.